Yo, what's going on, everybody? Covenant Dip coming at you guys with another one, man. This is definitely going to be an interesting one, guys. We got Mr. T in the building. We also got Grind Time co-hosting with us, man. So it's going to be an interesting one, and I think that we're going to actually have some fun going around, man. Just a general conversation, one about in the meantime, and two digging into this gentleman also and kind of seeing what his background brings to the table for what we have within the meantime, but what's going on, Mr. T? How are you feeling today? What's the vibes like?
Covet, my friend, Grind Time, great to see you guys. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate your time very much and everything that you do for this community. Mate, God bless you all. Hey, yeah, so look, I'm Mr. T. I'm our TikTok live host here In the Meantime. We've had we had a couple of weeks of doing it, which was great. And that was basically like a dry run to get me familiar with what I needed to do to like give me time to get these things, these things made, the badges made, I had to get the little clock delivered, etc. I've got QR codes made up for these there you go, like I've cut this I've cut the QR code off that
That's
one to stick on the back of my phone. So, when I'm out and about talking to people, they can just scan it. But you get the general idea. And, as we progress and the market picks up and people become more and more bullish about the market in crypto and more because people only get interested when it's green, right? And that's it's counterintuitive, it's counterproductive, but, that's what we're here to do. It's to kind of educate and entertain.
yeah.
It's certainly nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor.
Look, I've seen you walking around and kind of doing your thing on TikTok, man. And I was definitely enjoying like the live stream, the vibes. You keep it entertaining, and I think that's what most people like lack when they're trying to promote something or get people to like pay attention to something. You have to be either a entertaining, funny, something to draw people into your personality, because to everybody else you're a stranger. You know what I mean? So what makes this stranger
Yes,
easy to
sir.
talk to? So what do you feel like is your like main goal when approaching new people or new possible investors and things?
So for me, in my experience and how I approach life is like with a genuine enthusiasm and authenticity, because nobody wants to talk to somebody that's not enthused, and people
Yeah.
can smell, you know, people can smell BS a mile off, and if you're not authentic with people, they'll soon, dismiss you or stop listening or move you on. So, I've got like a growth mindset and a very, very open mind. I could disagree with someone 100% on everything and we could still have a great friendship because, I'm all about learning from their experience, learning from their point of views and having that open mind. And I feel that people feel that kind of energy and, it opens them up to having a conversation or a discussion. And, hey, it keeps it friendly, entertaining, and respectful, which is
Yeah.
where a lot of people go wrong in life. You see it often. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And Brian, you feel free to chime in anytime you want to chime in too, man. I don't know if you got anything. I don't want to just hog the
No,
question.
go right ahead. Go right ahead. I was looking forward to this one for quite some time since we set it up. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I think that we actually said this before we got on stream. I think that you're really going to be like a key figure to in the meantime, because you're doing the TikTok streams. People are, I think, sleep on the TikTok platform because a lot of cryptocurrency is mainly based on Twitter or on Telegram, maybe even Discord a little bit, but there's trickles and like different tokens that have kind of populated or became popular from TikTok. You know what I mean? So
mm,
there's buzz, but not a super large buzz for cryptocurrency. I feel like that until the surge of money starts coming in. You know what I mean? Because XRP definitely had a buzz when that started to run a little bit. There's a couple other tokens that had a buzz. Bitcoin is definitely talked about on TikTok, but you don't really see too much like meme coins trending on TikTok. I think that narrative changes once the volume starts to shift. We get to more of a bullish market, and people start picking up on the amount of money that gets made within meme coins. Also, what's your view on that one?
Look, I agree with a lot of what you've said. In fact, I agree with basically everything you said. I can't think of anything, where I wouldn't be singing from the same hymn sheet on. Um, I just think doing something differently to how everyone else is doing it is how you get different results. And I'm not going to say better results, but different. If you want to do the same as everyone else, you're only ever going to get the same results. And my idea for the last couple of years was to be this, really extroverted character, you know, that goes out super enthusiastic to get people hyped up and talk to people on the street and in a silly costume. My silly costume is, gold is gold chains, and a pair of speedos on. I think it's hilarious, and also I'm aware that that kind of thing is really easy for it to go viral on TikTok, and that's what you're looking for. Attention is the currency of this generation, and the more eyes that we get on the project, the more eyes that become interested in doing their research on it, at least. And when people do their research on this project, they're going to be blown away by it, which is why I'm quite happy to make a fool of myself prancing around Sydney,
Oh, dude, you're gonna
half
be a legend. You're gonna be a
half
legend. They're
naked.
gonna put you in like bronze or something
I,
outside of the
I,
building.
I'd love it. Honestly, I would die happy. That would make my day.
I can see it because, like I said, people don't understand like being early does. You know what I mean? Like being early to trends and understanding that trends could really take things to the next level. You guys started with like a super strong meme like narrative that you can meme the shit out of. You know what I mean? So that's like the base. Then like the core is like everything else that is created by like the team, like all the utilities and things that are already usable now, and like the mining that you guys are constantly like progressively getting better and more revenue into. So things are like for me, like this is like a prime example of what you kind of get into and what you should try to tap into when you first talk about memes. So
Yeah, yes, sir. Look, exactly. You've hit the nail on the head. So what have I been in crypto for? Probably 4 years, something like that. And look, I got very lucky when I first got into crypto. Um, I actually got into crypto 1 week before the 50% dump on ETH happened 4 years ago or something like that. So my dipping my toes into into crypto, I lost half my foot. But I stayed in, and I did my research. I did my time. I made it my goal to educate myself about it so that I can actually understand the game, play the game, and then hopefully come out on top. And that's exactly why I'm here. But I got into SHIB. I just by pure luck, I got into SHIB. I saw some YouTubers talking about it. Rodney, shout out to Rodney.
mm,
Um, I haven't looked at that guy for ages, but he was talking about it, and I was, oh, I'll take a look. And I got in, and it was pure luck on my part. No research was done, no real research was done. I just thought he's talking about it. He's an influencer. He seems like he knows what he's talking
yeah,
about. I thought I'll do it. I'll do it. And I got super lucky, man. After Shib's massive spike, I literally entered at the very, very bottom of that, and it again pure luck. And then I held for 6 months whilst it trended, not trended, whilst it traded across the floor, and then boom, it had a massive spike, and I made a little bit of money. I eventually put that into other projects, and
yeah,
learned the hard way, brother. I've learned the hard way, and that is why I'm here. So
yeah, yeah. You get crypto allows you to get punched a few times, and what happens is you have a fight or flight type of
yes.
reaction to that. You get punched in the mouth, you're either gonna take off running, you don't want that type of smoke, or you're one of those guys that's just like, all right, we're here now. So you know what I mean? We're doing this. So yeah.
100%. Look, nothing truly great in. Look, I'm 42, right? The one thing that I've learned is nothing truly great or worthwhile in this life happens easily or for free. And if somebody's telling you this is easy, it's free, it's going to cost you no effort and no time and no money, it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
And we live in this day and age where people want people want everything now for free with no effort on their part because they're special, because that's what they've been told their whole lives, right? And here the reality is, you get out of life what you put in, and you deserve, you deserve what the effort and time and energy you put in. And hey, let's not forget karma. You've got to be a good person, otherwise it will come back and bite you. I truly
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah.
That's 100. And I like to, rewind and go back to what you were saying. When you first got in, it was pretty much a little later than I got in, but the only thing we had was YouTube, right? For us to do our research. Now, fast forward 4 years ahead, where we're standing before the next bull run. And now we have people like yourselves and projects like ITMT tapping into an like territoried market with TikTok. We have X now. X is big with crypto, but here we are tapping into TikTok, with the crypto scene, and you're doing a hell of a job because, like Cuff said, I'm watching your TikToks and, I'm just rolling on the floor. And like you said, um, you're bringing that energy, but you're also bringing that fun and excitement to it as well. So, kudos and hats off to you for doing what you're doing.
Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate your kind words, and I appreciate everything you do as well. You just say it's, I try and bring a little bit of fun to it. I try and make it a little bit different. Is it a little bit memorable? Maybe. Is it? I'm not the smartest person in any room, right? And I don't want to be. I want to learn from those smarter than me, which is why I'm here speaking to you guys. You know crypto far more than me. You know, when I'm listening to the team talk, they know far more about crypto and technology and global economics than what I do. But I learn from those guys, and hey, I try and share a little bit of my experience with people that I meet on the street. One of the streams that we had, and I streamed from Bondi Beach, world famous Bondi Beach in Sydney. I was coming towards the end of my stream, and a gentleman called out and asked me if the gold chain was real, and I laughed and said no, not yet. And I spoke to this guy, and he had a little bit of crypto experience, and he shared what his experience was. He dumped 40 grand into the top three. I think he said Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP, and then he sold. He sold at a 90% loss, and we laughed about it. We laughed about it, and it's stuff like that. And he said, "Hey guys, take profits," and he's exactly right, because that's what we do. And whilst I was in the shower, right, getting myself all spruced up and ready for this, I was laughing to myself, about the experience that I've had over 4 years, and how easy would all of our crypto lives be if we just played by the fundamentals, which was never invest more than you can afford to lose, always do your own research, and take your initials. If we just did those three simple things, think how smooth and enjoyable and easy your life in crypto would be. But none of us do that until we learn the hard way, right? So
you got to bump your head against the wall. And first of all, somebody giving you a template of how to make money, it sounds too damn easy. Then when you first come in, you're like, dude, my initial was only 50 or $100. I'm not taking that shit out. Like it's if I leave it in there, it might be another $1,000 or $10,000 if I leave it in there. Why would I take my $100? I'm like, nah, I'm letting this ride. And then it goes to like 50K or something like that, or something astronomical. And you're like, dude, this is going to $1 million. I'm not touching it. And that's the mentality people get when they see like astronomical numbers, like never taking profits. Yeah, so it's crazy.
This is it, and look, it's gambling. It taps into that impulse that we all have, which is I could get rich quick now, easily, because life is hard. Life is hard, man. So many of us are living paycheck to paycheck. Hey, I'm no exception. Do you know what I mean? Sydney is expensive. I'm sure that the cities in America, and even the rural areas in Australia are more expensive than people can afford now.
Yeah.
And it's the same for all of us. So all of us are looking for that. Hey, wouldn't it be nice if I won the lottery? Well, if you want to win the lottery, hey, go and buy a lottery ticket. But if you want to make money in crypto, you've got to educate yourself and you've got to take time to do the research. This isn't a lottery. This is crypto. It's a financial market, and yes, you can get lucky. Hey, I got lucky with SHIB, but because I didn't take the time to understand everything properly first, hey, I all the money that I made in SHIB is lost, all of it. I didn't take my initials. It's and I've got a smile on my face, right? Because I've learned from that experience. It didn't render me, homeless or anything like that. Nearly.
Yeah. Well,
But
you're not the only one that lost money in this market, dude. I can tell you right off the top, I've lost a couple $100,000 in the market. I've made, of course, more than that. The profit to loss ratio has to equal out. If you're losing that much and you're still here and you haven't gained, please don't do that. I've just been here for a long time. I didn't want to give anybody an idea that it's okay to lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. Please don't do that. But that's over a long ass experience of time and like taking my L's, understanding the market, paying attention to like the meta shifts and even NFTs and stuff like that. That is a whole nother like FOMO-ish era of trying to understand like why these pictures are worth hundreds of thousands or 50,000 or 20,000. So the market's interesting and it's a lot to grasp sometimes. So
yes, sir, it is. And I think this is actually a really nice conduit and segue into why I'm here in the meantime. So look, with all the experience that I gained in crypto up until this point, it made me look for a few things, which was genuine devs, devs that you can actually trust, genuine utility, and something that is has got viral possibilities. And all three of those things are here and in the meantime. And how do I know the devs are legit? Well, hey, go onto our website and see who the devs are. It's right there. In the meantime.sucks, it's right there. You've got some incredibly trustworthy people on this team, some incredible team members with the most amazing experience. Like it's a blessing to have found this project as early as I did and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to help be the TikTok face of this project. I love it. I'm here doxed like this, because I believe in the project. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't believe in the team and I didn't believe in the utility. And my professional experience, I spent the last 6 years doing tech recruitment for some global tech companies, and a pretty decent level, I have to say. So I know what to look for in a candidate in tech, and hey, our guys have got it. So we've got an unbelievable memeability or memeable thing. I mean, look how cool this little guy is.
yeah, I know, right?
You've not seen it before. It's awesome. It's like it gives me kind of like Mickey Mouse stroke Cuphead feel, right?
Yeah,
Mickey
and it's not
Mouse
a remake of Pepe, just like
yeah,
everybody
exactly. So it's new, it's fresh, and like I've said on my streams, time is the most valuable commodity that we have. I think it's a beautiful crossover. I really do. And we can rock out with our clock out, and all we can clock in, and all of these fun little things that you can have to it, which it just adds to the I mean, it could go viral.
Yeah.
Telling the right person in the street, rock out with your clock out. I mean, why couldn't that be the new Hawk Tour girl? Do you know what I mean? It's but hey, but a lot better than that. So
Yeah. Like I actually find myself saying in the meantime instead of in the meantime now. Like it's almost like programmed in. It's like they really did well as far as like the name and then also the figure that you're using for the memes and such like that. Like what can't you meme with that damn character? Like there's a lot of different things you can do with it. The videos are crazy. Like the animations that you guys have, like some of them on TikTok and some of the other ones that I've seen like on Twitter. I just seen another one. I haven't even seen that one. I'm actually putting that shit into a commercial that I'm gonna be running like when I do like streams and different things like that. So it's gonna be super cool. But like that, the commercial was so bullish. I'm gonna let you guys see it though. But like man, but I also was looking at the roadmap, which I feel like was different than most road maps. You know what I mean? You're looking at it, it's just on this crinkled piece of paper. You know what I mean? Like I honestly feel like what was it? I think what was it? Apple that started in the garage. I think it was one of those businesses started
Yes,
in the
sir. It
garage.
was.
So,
It was.
so you know what I mean? So that kind of gives me that type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like you're in there just crunching numbers, and then you're like, "Nah, this is bad. No. We know what this is the one." And then you kind of spread it out, and then it like that becomes like that memorable like piece of paper because it has like the template of everything that you guys kind of want to map out and do. And that was the right time for that idea. So that's what the crinkle paper vibe kind of gives me. And then like you see the pretty much like the development lines, the checkoffs, and where you're kind of at right now versus like where you guys are trying to be at. I like the goals, I like the missions on each kind of check mark, and you guys kind of checking it off for the community to kind of follow. It's kind of cool.
It is. Look, I agree with everything you're saying. It's this is. I look at this and it's fun. And you're exactly. I can't remember. God, there's a massive brand or a massive company that started from an idea written on the back of I think it was a food diner receipt, that they had, or a napkin or whatever it was, and that company went on to become billions. And also look, if I look at this roadmap, there's stuff that's happening behind the scenes, or and has already happened. That's not on that roadmap.
Yeah.
It's just incredible what this team is up to, like the kind of partnerships that we have, the kind of relationships that we're building, and oh man, it's going to be a good time. And the only thing I ever implore people to do is their own research. Hey, take some time to really look into this project. Who are the devs, who are the advisors, who are the trusted KOLs that that are backing us. It's man, like people like yourselves and Grind Time, Kid and Wall. It's mate, this thing is ready to pop. And hey, and when it does, it's going to make the people that have done their own research really happy.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I'm not gonna lie to you, in meme culture, I think most people go look at the pretty pictures and then the tokenomics. I think that's the only thing that they really look at on websites. Like this one actually has a description, and if you actually read through the description, you know what I mean, this one alone is super bullish to me. You know what I mean? Like I previously sent to a couple bill who are like, that's like literally they underlined it so people can understand like this is where we need to. It's an OG dev, couple billion. You know what I mean? Like you can probably just read that part and understand that this is something that you should probably pay attention to. But yeah, the dev, well, the team that they have here, I feel like is definitely well suited and well built and organized, and then they built out from there. So I'm bullish on the team that's behind this.
Yes, sir. I couldn't agree more. If I'm trying to, because I know that I'm going to be speaking to the US audience a lot here, sir. So, if you what's his name? Who's the best quarterback of all time?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, right? If you have Tom Brady on the team sheet, you're going to be feeling pretty good about your chances going into the finals, right?
Yeah.
And this is the same thing here. All people need to do is have a look. We've got the crypto Tom Brady on the team. In fact, we've got multiple Tom Bradys on this team.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, guys, think about it.
And you could have put it in football terms: football, soccer.
Soccer. Yeah. We've got a couple of Messis and Ronaldos on the team. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, like this past Friday, when I listened to that X Space.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you tapped into that one, but man, oh man, that if that don't you hear that and what they were discussing and talking about and what everything is rolled out and ready to go and what they're different areas that's happening. I was so bullish, I just wish I had more to like just fill my bags.
Yeah, exactly, brother. If you listen to that and that doesn't get your clock hard, crypto isn't for you. So,
Dude, you can literally slip that in everywhere I see.
you know it,
My God,
baby.
I love it here. Just a man 04 says, got my ITMT bag loaded and tapping away to
Boom.
increase it. So bam, that's what you got to do. Also 40 months as well. Yeah, 40 months is crazy. We've been on doing this streaming shit for a little while now. So yeah, 40 months is crazy, bro.
But here you go. You know, this is something else, right? You've got to be consistent. You've got to show up and put the work in.
Yeah.
And this is what the team is doing. This is what you guys have done. This is how you've built your communities and your brand in the space. Do you know what I mean? You know, and
Yeah.
it's something that I've done throughout my life with training and whatever I've been doing. You know, I've been consistent. I'm not the most gifted or talented at anything, you know, but I put the work in and I'm consistent and I'm reliable and that will get you a long way. You know, hard work shows turns up when talent, you know, goes missing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I can definitely agree with that. And the amount of people who are asleep on this opportunity sub $1 million market cap is crazy to me. Like I don't even understand it, but I do understand that like once things kind of transition, like a lot of those same people are gonna come back, you know what I mean? They're gonna see the streams and they're gonna see that the position in the chart is that straight line. You know, when you go back on the chart and you gotta zoom in,
Yes,
you're like,
sir.
damn, it looks like a straight line from right
Y-
here. Like this was a
Yes, sir.
so
Right. This goes back to what I was saying about SHIB. Everyone always says, "I want to find the next SHIB." It's like it's literally right here in front of your face, guys. It's literally right here in front of your face. All you got to do is take the time to do your research. But
yeah,
obviously, a lot of what we need to do is help get the word out, and that's where the community is gonna have to step up and play its part. You
yeah,
know,
definitely.
you know, if you look at what was it, Saitama,
Yeah.
awful devs, awful roadmap, awful utility. No offense,
Yeah, no, no,
whatever.
no, no. That was community and word of mouth. That was
Community word of mouth,
what
$7
did.
billion market cap.
Yeah.
What's that from here? 7,000x, guys.
That's the nastiest of games right there. You know what I mean? To ride one of those up.
You know, I know that I post in the Telegram chat quite often, you know, the SHIB pricing. You know, if you put $1,000 in month, whatever it is, whatever that date is, you know, 2 months later you had $1. But
Yeah.
you know, you wait 6 months, you had $10,000. You wait, you know, 12 months, you had $55 million.
Yeah.
So come on.
It's just people are impatient. Like you said, they want that instant gratification.
Yes,
And when they
sir.
don't feel it at that moment, they're like, okay, I put $1,000 into this project. You know what I mean? Okay, it's going up and down. It's kind of consolidating. It's like not understanding the timing in the market. Like we're at one of the most finicky points in the market right now, period, to try to figure out we're gonna break an uptrend that we've been in for about 2 years as far as for Bitcoin. So as long as we hold that, we're good. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like undecided money in the market that doesn't know what direction we're going. There's all of a sudden there's drops, there's raises in the market, and people don't know where we're going just yet. You know what I mean? Trump could come out of nowhere with tariff information that completely sinks the market, and they don't want to be a part of that downtrend. You know what I mean? They want to buy the bottom, not be the ones that are still buying the top. So
You're exactly right. But let me add something on top of that, my friend. For everything you say, which is exactly right, you know, you think about the real money men in this world, the BlackRocks and stuff.
oh
You
yeah.
know, they're looking at the long term game, guys. So they're buying, they're DCAing. That's what
Oh
they're
yeah.
doing, and they're holding. So it's all you've got to do is buy and hold. You zoom out, and it will show you. Especially in this project, look what we're doing. You know,
Yeah.
we've got 4 revenue generating utilities, guys. Seriously, look into it some more. Like you say, go and listen to the last X Space that the team
Yeah,
did.
that space was informative
Get
right there, and they got
get
a lot
out
of
of here, man.
they got a lot of information out. Let people know about a lot of different opportunities, and also what I would like to add to like the trading. Like I say it often on the stream. Like I'm like the market's dumping right now, but if you pay attention, you'll see random spikes of smart money. What is the smart money doing? They're strategically buying as this thing's coming down because they can understand different ranges, or they have people that understand these different ranges and the algorithm and sentiment of the market. So they're not looking for the perfect position or the ultimate bottom to buy. They're buying as
I
history
think
goes down
we've
so that they
hit a glitch in the matrix.
am I muted?
Cuffy, my friend, I've lost you. I'm not sure if grind time's there as well.
I could hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes,
you.
sir. Okay. Hey, it's down to us, baby.
What's going on? Oh no.
There's some gremlins over at Cuff inside.
Hold on.
Or have we dropped out for the stream if
No.
Cuffin's out?
No, I see.
Can you
Cuff.
guys hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
can hear
do?
So Grind, you can't hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you, Cuff. I could see you.
I've lost him. This is
No.
Justin said I can hear all three of you. Hold on, you wanna try backing out of the
this
link
is
and
on
coming
my
back
end
in?
then.
Tell him to back out and come back in.
Yeah, back out and come back in if you want.
All
Just
right,
come back
guys.
into the
I'll
same
do that.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh no, I've been doing
No.
so good, not pressing the button.
Yeah.
I didn't press anything. I'm like, I promise.
Yeah, but even like the stream before that stream, that X Space, right? I don't know
Yeah.
if you heard that one when he had like an investor just chilling in the car with him
Yeah.
and
you know,
had the investor on the stream talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a good space. I think that really shows that they care about investors. They're actually spending time to kind of cultivate a bigger community and a well-versed community. You know what I mean? Like they're not just feeding them a bunch of bullshit. And in that the trading community that they have also in that Telegram, they're allowing people to learn how to do TA and not just on in the meantime. Like they're doing it on blue chips, alts. From what I've been hearing so much, you know what I mean? Something similar to like what we kind of do in our spare time, you know what I mean? Go over the market, go over indicators, sentiment, kind of where to find different things. And I think that that's great for like a community to try to build together because I would love to see more people that know just know how to trade better. Let's see if we got them. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm back.
Okay, let's go.
Sorry about that, man.
No, technical errors happen, man. Technical errors happen. I'm like, oh no, because sometimes my mixer will take a shit on me, so I gotta check. So no, you're all good. So it said, let me know if you guys can hear in the chat. So go ahead and comment for me. Anybody is in the chat, take this time frame to retweet, man. Tell a friend, man, get them in the building. Especially tell them to tap into the in the meantime link tree that is in the description right here. That will get you to all of the socials that you guys need to be at. So when this man goes live on TikTok, I want to see people in there tapping the screen, man, showing a little bit of support. And the support costs you $0.00 to just show up and to actually just tap on the screen. Then even easier than that, 1 penny, if you actually guys want to support, you can join the team. What does joining the team do? It helps push you in that algorithm because as you join the team, they have popular ranks and then they also have just their daily ranks and stuff like that. As you have more team members joining, you get pushed in that algorithm a little bit more, and it costs 1 penny. If you don't have 1 penny for something that you love, I don't know what to tell you guys because I definitely had my penny ready and was putting it in that slot machine, man. I have to get my team badge and let people know that I supported the in the meantime movement, and it takes a penny to do that. And just for you to tap the screen, it's really simple. That helps push the algorithm. That helps push him. His narrative gets out there more. We get more people to tap in and hear what he has to say. So I would love to see a little bit more of that. So definitely hit that link tree, guys, and follow those socials.
And I would even go further than that. And if you're on TikTok, make sure you give Mr. T a follow. You know, make sure you follow him and you know, stay tapped in with him because he's got entertaining information all the time for you. So
I definitely appreciate that, guys. Like follow the main account for sure, and if you fancy it, you know, my personal account is on there, but you know, I'm more worried about what we're going to be doing with the team. So yeah, make sure you follow in the meantime.
Yeah, man, that TikTok, man, I'm telling you, there's definitely going to. I have a feeling that like the meetings and such, because how do the seasons work over there? Actually, are you going to be traveling? Let me start. Are you going to be traveling and kind of doing what you were doing where you're at in different places?
So look, whilst things currently stand, you know, I've got a full-time job and you know everything that goes with that. So you know, travel is going to be tricky right now. However, as you know, as the project develops, who knows what's possible? Do you know what I mean? We've got these incredible revenue-generating utilities. Hey, and once they're, you know, well, they are up and running, but once more and more people are using them and more revenue comes in, that's going to give people the freedom to spend more time away from their full-time jobs or take vacation. You know, I could take unpaid time off and then do it. Do you know what I mean? But you know, I would love to do some streams in the US. I think that is the place for it to work.
I don't know if you know this, but you're almost built for Miami. Miami be perfect. Like I think that may be a spot where you go viral. There's some spots in Cali too. You know what I mean? I think that's like just where there's a massive amount of people and I know Brian unmuted because he's in Florida. Oh, Vegas literally just walking down the strip. Like people will be standing asking questions. Like I can already see it now.
Yeah, it's my friend. I have the same vision. Like this character, this whole thing works best in the US. It does. You know, in Australia, you know, there's tall poppy syndrome where people won't congratulate you on a nice car. What they'll say is, they'll be angry about it. But in the States, what I love about you guys and your culture is, you know, you go, man, what did you do to get that? They're interested in it. And that is so positive and inspiring. I love that. Whereas in Australia, you have people looking down their nose at you. You know, not everyone, of course, but like you say, this is Vegas or Miami is the place to be doing this. It works. You know, and when
viral, just because so many people pull out their cameras, I feel like just because they're like, oh man, like this is entertaining. This is damn, like we're just in that type of era to where everybody's camera phoned out or some type of camera ready to record something.
Exactly, you know, and I have the kind man, this accent in the US, people will just be like, wow, do you know what I mean? You guys lose your mind for an English accent. You lose it. And you know, then you throw in, you know, a bit of personality, a bit of, you know, cheeky charm. You know, for example, like on the streams, I say 6'2", baby, 175, ripped out of my freaking mind, dripping in bling. Do you know what I mean? That goes a long way in the US. It doesn't go anywhere here. So,
dude,
covered in tats.
Go ahead.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm just listening. But if you guys are new, you know, to the ITMT, or you're just tuning in, you know, the 4 utilities he's talking about, you know, they got the tap to earn game where you could also refer a friend, you know, and get a little boost there. You got your mining protocols that they had 100K set aside. And then if you listen to that last space, like I said, back on Friday, they got another 600 to 800K.
Oh, my God.
In another, 14 to 21 days coming through?
It's coming.
So, and then on top of that, they got the, you know, you go on Telegram, they got the TikTok swap, you know, where you could swap, unanimously, like nobody could see what you're doing.
Yes, sir. What's it between? It's a privacy swap through Telegram, and you can swap seamlessly, quickly, and easily, and cheaply between 15 chains currently. And remember, guys, this is just the beginning. Imagine what's possible when the whole world's talking about us, or, you know, 10,000 people are holders and they're talking about us. Imagine when the community's just like pumping, you know, it just, I
know the tap to earn was only in beta, you know, so it's so much potential. So much potential.
Well, they released also that that's not the only direction they wanted to go to, which is kind of like mysterious and in its own way like different. You know what I mean? They will let you know that's like the tip of the iceberg. Like this is just where we're starting at, guys. This is just what we wanted to release now, and we're still currently building cool things in the background while we're doing this. So that's cool also. So
yes, sir.
They kept it engaging too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You know,
no, you're good, brother.
When they were releasing, you know, all the letters and what the letters meant, you know, they made it a little community engaging, fun and exciting. You know, they made it like a little bit of a riddle. So,
well, that's literally where I was going, Grind Time. You know, we haven't even announced what the 4th utility is.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is it? I don't know.
I think everybody forgot that was even coming just because everything else was released. They're like, okay, we got the mining, we got the tap game. I mean, I don't think anybody was even thinking about that right this second, to be honest. They're just like, oh, this shit's released already.
I truly believe people aren't thinking enough, because, people say, well, I have a couple of people reach out to me and say, hey, how's the team going? And it's like, man, the team are absolutely pumping behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? Timekeeper, he's in Miami. He's getting a lot of things set up. He's meeting a lot of people, and he's not in the position to tell everyone everything the moment it happens. Because contracts aren't signed or people aren't ready to, expose themselves or whatever. But things are happening, there's something called survivor bias, in the Second World War, a lot, and bear with me whilst I go on this tangent, guys. In the Second World War, when a lot of the fighter planes returned to base, they had bullet holes in the wings, and that was, people go, oh, do you know what we need to do is strengthen the wings, right? We need to put more armor on the wings so that more of the planes get home. And that's survivor bias, because what actually happens is the planes that didn't get home didn't get hit in the wings. They got hit in the engine, or or the cockpit. And so that's survivor bias. And I think the same thing applies to crypto, with the devs being in the chat. If the devs of the project that you like are continuously in the chat, just hyping you up and giving you all of this chat, they're not working.
Nope.
They're not working. This is survivor bias in crypto, baby. The last thing that you want to see is your dev in chat 20 hours a day, because if they're doing that, they're not developing.
No,
they're not on these business meetings. Come on, guys.
Fortnite, bro. They're on Fortnite.
Time is money.
Call of Duty.
Time is money.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, Ryan, they're on Fortnite or Call of Duty right now. They're like, you know what? Let me check in with my chat and make sure that and then they grab their phone off of the couch past the Cheetos. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it works out.
Yeah. So. They knock over a stack of the community's money whilst they're doing it as well. Do you know what I mean? Guys, this is what you need to know about this project. The KOLs that we work with and the team's tokens, they're all, what's the technical phrase? They're all locked.
Vested.
They're all vested. Thank you. They're all vested. They're all vested. It's so the community is protected. People aren't in this project trying to line their own pockets. We're trying to build a self-sustaining business, and we're doing it. Like, there is so much professionalism and decency in this team. That is why I'm here. That is why I'm not interested in any other project. Me personally, don't look at crypto apart from what is happening in the meantime. I found my I found my rocket ship, baby. I'm locked, I'm loaded, I'm in this one. I'm not interested in anything else. I'll give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Winslow Banks. If Winslow gets involved in another project, I'll get involved with that as a community member for some fun. But for me, everything that I want to see in a project, in a team, in a meme, in a company, in a business is right here, and that is why I'm here, and that is it. It's as simple as that for me, baby. I'm a one-horse man, but I go for the best horse.
Look, I'm not mad at you. Everything is there as far as the metrics, the narrative, the team, the drive, the long-term plans, the sustainability, which is I feel like one of the biggest one that people actually avoid, like, paying attention to it, because they don't want to think about something dying down or not having enough revenue to actually continue. They want to think about the vibes right now currently, because it went up a little bit and they want it to keep going up. So nobody thinks about longevity, but they have, and they've created multiple revenue sources to propel and also, like, take care of the integrity of the chart as we move forward throughout the longevity of the project. And most people are not doing that. Like, they don't care about the integrity of the chart. They don't care about the fact that people put hard-earned money like into these charts. Like when the people invest into your project, they're investing into your business idea. Like you're like, this is a small business investment, you know what I mean? Or are you trying to get into like a VC or something like that? Something that's small, just getting started. So you don't really know what the outcome can be, but you believe in a team, you believe in the idea, and you believe that they'll keep pushing and driving towards this task. So it definitely affects people differently when you have a good dev team versus a bad dev team. So I think that definitely makes a difference.
No, I completely agree. You know,
Yeah.
I couldn't be more relaxed about what our future holds. I couldn't be more relaxed because I've taken the time to do my research. You know,
Yeah.
it's
It's
we're in a really good spot, and the time to do your research on this project is right now. The time to get involved is now.
most definitely. And before we wrap it up, because we're getting close to that hour mark, so we'll probably wrap it up in a second here. But I do want people to get a visual just so they can see when Mr. T came on where the chart was at. We are currently at a 932K market cap right now. So this is, to some that seen it launch on Pump Fund, they're like, "Oh, it's how I missed it." You know what I mean? Nah, this is not one of those things that like come off of like something like Pump Fund and actually sustain that $1 million or higher and stuff like that. Those are those are anomalies, especially coming off of a platform like that. Are you well prepared and got a good team behind you? So sub $1 million is a a giveaway pretty much, especially
Oh,
if they can reach their
literally.
their goals they want to reach.
Literally, and remember, we're pegged to Sol, and Sol is, you know, it's taken a 50% hit where it was at what, 280? What's it now, 134? So we're, you know, if you go back to the Sol all-time high, we're over 2 million. You know, and you've got to remember, there's a lot of the big bags that have been paper hands, you know, over the last few weeks or months, you know, and hey, the people that are taking their time to do their research and be involved, they're doing their own DCA.
Yeah, I like this comment. You can sell ice to an Eskimo. You bullish. And this is
I
what we call on
appreciate that.
TikTok. Kind of letting everybody know about it in the meantime. So, and that's going to be a lot of. I'm going to reiterate this. There's a lot of traffic that goes on TikTok. A lot of it is not centralized on like looking for cryptocurrency information right this second, but as more volume goes through this market, more meme tokens, the ones that are like super hyped up, run through, like people are going to want to look into it. They're going to find stable things that they can actually put their money into, that they're not going to get rug pulled on. Well, actually, honestly, let me go through the honest reaction of what's going to happen. They're gonna try to go for one of the fast ones. They're gonna get rugged, and then they're gonna look for the. I think that's how everybody comes into crypto. They're like, oh my god, you can make how much? Let me go put $100 into this, get rugged
Yeah.
really quick, and they're like, you know what? Let me do a little bit more research and find something solid to put my money into. So yeah, so
I just want to make a comment. One of our community members that's been watching, like, here's the best thing about what I'm doing here, right? I'm genuinely not trying to sell you anything. All I'm trying to do is share information and implore you guys to do your own research. I'm not selling this project. This project sells itself once you've done your own research.
I can agree with that one.
That's 100. Yep.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So I like to think of that too. Even when I do like promotions for anybody, I look at like a promotional video as a billboard for me. You drive past a billboard, you can't really control what you see for therefore on a billboard. You pay for the space, you pay for the space. So for long-term content, I don't do long-term content with any brand, cryptocurrency, NFT, unless I actually believe that it has a long term. I don't plan on signing my name on it something and then it doesn't. It has no hope of doing anything, just to try to hype something up so we can ride a 5 to 10x and then we can go to the next project. That's not really my bag or how I like to handle things. So if I'm doing long term content, it's because I believe that the project really has longevity in front of it. The team wants to drive and push towards something that is actually something that's going to disturb the space. You know what I mean? Like not just something that's just going to be here, something that will disturb the space, make some noise, and that I'll be able to enjoy doing content on. It's the worst thing trying to present something to somebody that you don't like. Like it's just like, guys, here's this lawnmower. It's old. the clipper underneath is dull, but it will go over the grass 3 or 4 times. It gets the grass right. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to describe that, but if you can describe the well-oiled machine, like I am fully down for that. And it's like he said, it sells itself. I'm just presenting information that is in front of everybody, but in a manner that they can understand it, digest it, and know what to do with the information from there. So that's pretty much all it is. So
Yes, sir. I love that.
but yeah, man. Either one of you guys want to say anything or ask any more questions before we wrap this one up, so we can keep it kind of short, so some people can tap in. We got 98 people in the building throughout a couple different platforms. I'm testing out streaming on TikTok. We're not as heavy on TikTok yet. I got to build the platform up over there, but we will be doing consistently putting streams up there, so you can catch it on TikTok too. Twitch, where else we got it? YouTube, X. So it's a couple different places. I'm still looking for other platforms to expand to get more crypto knowledge out there. So
Well, for me, I just want to thank you guys for your time, for your support, and your amazing communities for taking the time to sit here and listen to me ramble. You know, God bless you all, and hey, I hope to see you on the streams and in the Telegram. You know, if you do come into Telegram, remember no one from the team will ever DM or call you first. That is for your safety. But hey, come in. You know, send me a DM. That's you know, I'm more than happy to chat with you guys. And as several members of the community will tell you, you know, I always get back to people. So just come in, do your own research. You know, clock in, get your clock hard, all of that good stuff, baby. We're here, and you are so early. Don't be one of those people that for the rest of your life says, I wish I found the next ship. I'm looking for the next ship. This is the next ship. Apart from we're going to do it bigger, we're going to do it better, and we're going to have a lot more fun along the way. And I just want to say, God bless you all. Thank you very much for your time. It's been awesome to speak to you. I'm really grateful. Thank you very much.
definitely, Brian, you got anything?
Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming out. Mr. T, taking your time, because I know you're on the other side of the world. So I know your time is not, you know, situational with where we're at right now. But, you know, time is money. And right now is the time for everybody to kind of look at, in the meantime, do your research, because there's massive amount of money that is constantly flowing in through here with the mining protocols, and there's so much potential. Come be a clock blocker, as they say on the website. Be clock blocking. I mean, there's so many different variables. I love that. I love that. Cup. The first time I said it, Cup's like, "Did you think of that?" I'm like, "Nah, that's the team. That's the brilliance of the team."
That was the first time I heard it. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I like it. That's definitely gonna disturb the space. People are like, definitely gonna clean. It's just funny. It's just one of those funny things, dude.
Yeah, and it's a movement where timing is everything. So, like I said, the time is now. Appreciate everybody.
Yeah, but we're gonna wrap this one up. I appreciate you, Mr. T, for coming out, man.
I appreciate you,
for
boys.
co-hosting in the building, man. Had some great people in the building. Like I said, we still got 101 Dalmatians in the building right now. So I appreciate all of you guys, man. This has been a fun stream and an informative stream at the same time. So if you guys missed it, just came at the end, rewind, watch it. You got multiple platforms to choose from. Hopefully this won't be the last time we see Mr. T. So we may be talking with him again, man. So
Would love to.
So, but we will see you guys next time. We are out of here.